For the first time in almost 2 decades, Christmas and Hanukkah will fall on the very same day.
Hanukkah begins at sundown tomorrow, and joining us this morning is Rabbi Joanna Samuels, the CEO of the Marlene Meyerson JCC Manhattan. Good morning to you, Rabbi. Thank you so much for joining us. It's nice to see you again.
Happy
I remember
to be
we
here.
talked just outside the JCC on the Upper West Side, so it's nice to see you again. So talk about the significance of Hanukkah, and especially how nice it is that it falls at the same time as Christmas.
Absolutely. So Hanukkah is one of the newer holidays in the Jewish tradition, which means it's only about just over 2,000 years old. And the story that's told is that in the war against the Greeks who had occupied the land, they had been victorious and they destroyed the temple that was the centerpiece of the Jewish religion. And the temple was entirely destroyed, and a small band of very, very brave people called the Maccabees came into the temple, a place that was their holiest place and now was full of destruction. And they decided to rededicate that space as a holy space. And they looked around the space and they found one tiny, tiny bottle of oil. And they thought, okay, we'll just light a candle for one day. And in fact, the oil lasted for 8 days. And that is the significance of the 8 days of Hanukkah, that the two miracles happened. The first is that they went and they found oil. And the second is that the oil lasted for 8 days.
Yeah,
Where did the gifts come in?
The gifts are later. Don't tell my kids. Traditionally, people don't give gifts on Hanukkah. And I think because it falls at the same season as Christmas, it has become something that Jewish households have taken on.
Right, and for the first time now that they're both on the same day, so you're thinking maybe the gifts came because kids were watching Santa bring gifts for other children?
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's also very festive to give gifts.
Yeah.
The fact is, people enjoy giving each other things, receiving things, and so it does become a nice part of the holiday.
So when things fall, when it falls on the same day, is there a bit of an interfaith engagement that takes place?
You know, I hope that there is, actually. I think we're living in a society that feels so polarized right now, and where we're always thinking about how we're different from other people. And I think when Hanukkah and Christmas fall together, as they do this year and as they did 19 years ago, there's an opportunity to say, what's happening here? These are two festivals that are both about bringing light into the darkest time of the year. And it reminds us that there's something very human about being in a dark time and thinking, what can I do? What can I do to make this better? And the fact is, both traditions and other religious traditions as well at this time of year have holidays that focus on light.
Yeah.
Being with the JCC, I know you see so many kids coming in and out of your door. So what makes this time of year so special?
Well, I always joke that, you know, traditionally Hanukkah is 8 days, but if you work in a JCC, Hanukkah is like 8 weeks. And so even though our programs are on break right now, we have had many weeks leading up to this of lots of potato pancakes, latkes, lots of donuts, sufganiyot, and children of all ages making menorahs out of wood, out of metal, all kinds of things, and bringing those home very, very proudly to their parents, and really being a link in that chain of saying, you know, I have my own menorah right now, even though I'm 4 years old, and I'm going to proudly light it.
Yeah. Can you talk about some of the practices, the rituals that take place during Hanukkah? You mentioned some of the food as well. We were making some of those yesterday, those latkes on
lucky.
Yeah, they were very good. With a gentleman who brought, I told you, his great-grandmother's menorah, and I was like, wow, you should treasure this at home. But talk about some of the rituals.
Yeah, so there is a tradition that says that as soon as night falls, you light your menorah because you want to be active to do something that is holy. And so each member of the family over age 12 or 13 is supposed to have their own menorah to light. And there are 8 candles, of course, on the menorah. And then there's a 9th that's called the shamash, and that's the helper candle. And the helper candle is lit first, and then on the first night, the first candle is lit, and then on the second night, we light 2 candles, 3 candles, etc. And actually, this goes back to an interesting ancient debate between 2 rabbis, one of whom said, you should light 8 candles on the first night because that's when they had the most oil, and then each night light one fewer because there was that much less oil. But the other rabbi says, no, we should never decrease in light. We should never decrease in holiness. We should only increase. And that's why on the first night we light 1, 2, 3, and then we get to 8.
What an interesting perspective. When's the next time Chrismukkah will happen again?
2035.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
There you go. 11 years, 11 years, or 10? 11 years.
Something.
That's why I read news. Great to have you here.
Wonderful to be
Thank
here.
you so
Happy
much.
holidays
Happy
to
holidays
both of
to
you.
you.
Back at you, okay?